I've been introduced to Nathaniel, who has more knowledge than many about this particular site, because you did some archaeology here, did you? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, a few years ago now, when I was an archaeologist, we were digging down to the foundations of the presbytery and to find out if they were on the rafts and how well preserved those rafts were. Wooden rafts, yeah. It was to see, because there's some cracks been forming in the walls of the presbytery. So we dug down, we found the rafts. They were actually in really good nick.
So what year are we talking here?
This was, hang on.
Right, you're not that old.
2009, right. 2008, 2009.
And were you volunteering, or are you working?
No, I had a job with Oxford Archaeology North,
right.
And we had the contract to work on the excavation for a couple of years. It was around winter time, so it wasn't the best time.
So what was the problem with the original foundations? Were they not built for the building that's now on them?
They were built, to be fair to them, they built them perfectly on rafts so that there was a little bit of movement, and especially in this area, because the whole abbey was built on a marsh and it's very wet. So doing that makes it more sturdy, but over time, and because there's no roof, cracks are formed. But the rafts themselves were quite well preserved. They were thick, big thick pieces of timber that hadn't rotted that much. So,
local timber,
I'm assuming so. I wasn't part of that.
but that led to an even greater discovery, didn't it? That work, which you're going to tell us about.
Yeah, well, I was on it from the beginning. So we took away the altar that was there, and we started digging down. One season we dug down in the walls on the inside, and then we came back for a further season on the outside, dug down, and then we started excavating into the middle of the presbytery, away from the walls. And we knew from historical records that the Victorians had come. They had taken loads of things out. They'd take without recording them, pretty much. So we found fragments, and there was a lot of backfill, but the Victorians had missed one tiny part, and this was where the abbot was found. And it was amazing, because it's like you don't find anything like this on a dig that much.
No.
And then in the middle, there he was. He lay perfectly, undisturbed completely, with his crozier.
Were you here on the day of the find?
Yes. They shouted us around. We watched as.
So those feelings were.
It was exciting.
The dogs getting
it was very exciting. We ran round and we watched. I think it was Steve. He was the one who excavated it. He found a bone who shouted us around. We went round, and then we found a bit of gold. So we just watched him dig for about 2 hours.
Right. And how long did you leave him in the ground before you could take him out, before the photographs had been taken?
As soon as the photographs were taken, because we knew where it was coming from and what date, the period from where it was laying, we took it out. As soon as it's recorded, you take it out. That's how commercial archaeology works. They remove everything. They record where it's come from, how old it is, and what level in the ground it is, and then they take it out.
Why did it take so long for him to get back? Where did he go, first of all, when he came out of the ground?
He went into. He'll have gone to Oxford Archaeology in Lancaster to be looked at, to be investigated, and that's how they found out that he was overweight.
Yeah.
So you've got to do all those experiments and just to look and find out what everything is. Everything needs preserving, everything needs cleaning, and then it's up to English Heritage. They will have to give the go-ahead. And obviously there's had to be a lot done to the museum to protect.
Because we have this valuable crozier now in a glass case, which needs security.
It does need security, yeah. And it's pretty much down to that.
So how do you beat that as a career highlights when you're not all that very old? Is that why you're no longer an archaeologist?
I've done my
you
job,
said I was an archaeologist. Have you moved on?
Yeah, I've had to. There's no money in archaeology, right. So you've got to.
And even Time Team has been shelved, hasn't it now?
Yeah.
But you also, when you were a student, perhaps, did you do some local work around Aldingham and Gleaston?
I did, yeah. I worked under Chris Salisbury, who's now left us, digging a prehistoric site.
Right.
A lot of flints. And
because there is also a Motte and Bailey Castle at Aldingham that people perhaps don't realise is there.
Yeah, just off the coast
road.
It's
on the hill just above New Biggin, isn't it?
Yeah, I did my dissertation on that.
Right, I'd like to read that one day because I'm wanting to make a little film about it.
Okay, yeah, I'll pass it on to.
So really, we're spoilt for history here, aren't we? Because this lot came in 1127.
Yeah.
But the Normans were here before that, building Motte and Bailey castles. And it was all to do with the channel, wasn't it, and the port and the island.
Well, yeah, it's a good area. The Morecambe Bay is a good area to be in. You've got trade, all that. But the Normans, I think it was the Le Flemings who were given the land by William the Conqueror. So he built his Motte and Bailey on Aldingham, and then after a while, they went inland to Gleaston and built their stone castle.
Because us Barrovians wonder, why is there a castle in Gleaston? But it's linked to an earlier site at Aldingham.
Yes, that's it.
And it's just a ruin now.
Yeah. It's a nice place to be. It's like a little bit like this, but a lot less upkept.
It's not very safe, is it?
No.
Have you got special permission? Can we go in one day? Can you pull rank and get us in?
I've been in before, and I've asked the farmer. He lets you in.
Right, does he?
Yeah.
Okay, right, what else have you got to tell me?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, that's probably enough. The fact you were here when you found the body is actually in.
I'm not too sure whether
it'll still be with archaeology.
It's either still there or it's been put in storage. I want the body here. I think it should be out on display. I think they should show it.
I mean, it's part of life, isn't it?
I suppose you could say it deserves to be in the ground.
But here, which is rather special, and the ring.
Yeah, and the ring. Oh, the ring. The ring. We found out that on the back of the ring, this guy will have been wearing it, and I've said he was overweight. But if you look at the ring on the inside, it has a point. So he will have been in so much pain just because he's got this ring on. And that could have been a kind of penitence, a bit of pain every day. Yeah.
Like the hair shirt thing. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, the mindset was totally different, wasn't it? But the body was just the same, and we were hungry, and we had pain and
he wasn't.
And happiness and joy. No, what was his diet?
Oh no, I do know this. Make it up. Alcohol.
Yeah, well, it's safer than the water, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Although I can't remember the map for the abbey, but it looks funny because the kitchen seems to be downstream from where the toilets are.
I thought that.
And if they were using the water from the stream here, it seemed a bit odd. So I think that they probably diverted the water in from somewhere else.
Right.
But you can't dig here unless you have permission.
And it's been flowing ever since. That water never stops.
No, yeah.
This is pretty special because sometimes you could just go and listen to it and think that sound's been going since 1124, 27 and beyond.
It's interesting though because the drainage here is perfectly done. They did such a good job to keep the water away.
Right.
When we were digging, we had a lot of floods, and because of the way we treat the land, we have flooding coming down from the hill and flooding the whole valley, and their drainage can't take what we've done. Right. Now
we've messed it up.
Yeah, we've messed it up, and I've walked round this whole abbey when it's been about a couple of inches underwater, and it's not nice.
No. Life wasn't easy, was it?
No.
We look at it romantically, and monks and praying and chanting, but
it
was grim because you were cold, you were wet, you were hungry perhaps most of the day, and you praised God.
Yeah. You're up early in the morning as well, late up at night.
Got to sleep,
no.
Did you? Up and down, up and down.
What I love about this building is the colour. It stands out because it's red sandstone and all that, and you've got the tower at the side, which is massive, and it's been broken, and it's half its size. And now if you think back, and if anyone knows the area of Barrow, if you're coming over past the hospital, if it was still intact, you would see the steeple, and it would be amazing to see. But yeah.
And I can imagine the thrill of walking down that lane, because the gatehouse is where you came in.
Yeah.
Where we drive our cars through is the original gatehouse entrance, isn't it? From the chapel outside.
Yeah.
And to come across that enclosure with that huge tower there.
Yeah,
But it was a late edition, wasn't it?
Yeah, people go on about Fountains Abbey, don't they? But I think this is better, even though it's not intact.
It's harder to get to. Which is the thing.
Although I think they should put a blooming station back where it used to be. There used to be an Abbey station.
But I don't think English Heritage are going to buy it.
Well, they should do it. Think of the transit.
Well, and the schools
access.
and this end of town.
Yeah.
And people going to college from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be
Right,
good.
shall we get a petition?